Hello, my name is Michal and I would like to present a research about the impacts of traffic flow reduction to the number of wildlife vehicle collisions. It is supposed that traffic calming has positive effect on the road mortality of animals. Traffic calming is thus often used in order to protect animals. However, there is a lack of scientific evidence as there haven't been many situations of large-scale traffic flow reduction. The situation changed in March 2020 when many lockdowns related to COVID-19 were enacted almost globally. This situation is called as anthropopause. We thus had a unique opportunity to study the impacts of this COVID-19 related traffic reduction, further CRTR, and its impact on the number of wildlife vehicle collisions. The graph shows a steep increase of WVC in Czechia 5 years before the 2020. Data comes from the police database. The majority of the records are related to large mammals, particularly roe deer. The share of this animal in WVC data is estimated as high as 80%. The importance of WVC in Czechia can be seen when compared with all traffic crashes. They amounted to only 4% of all traffic crashes in 2010, but this share rose up to 15% in 2019. The graph further indicates the relative change of both time series related to 2010 values. The WVC cause was not rising steadily but fluctuated over time. 3 peaks can be observed in data each year. Let's look at the traffic flow data now. We built time series for each year based on traffic radars from 21 places across the Czech road network, mainly motorways and primary roads. They show a similar cause with a maximum during the summer months. The year 2020 shows 2 drops, which correspond to the first and second lockdown. Between them, a period of almost the same traffic as usual was delimited. These 2 periods of reduced traffic flow correspond to 2 peaks of the maximum WVC values. The blue line shows the uniform distribution of WVC values for comparison. We tested how the number of expected WVC differed from the actual values. For this case, we applied ARIMA approach. The blue line shows the WVC estimation for the entire 2020. Black dots represent actual data from that year, and the gray area indicates the interval of the WVC estimate. When we compared the estimated and actual WVC values and aggregated them over the respective time periods, we could see the impact of CRTR. The highest reduction in WVC was found for the second CRTR. However, these are the only preliminary results. We must further think about the reasonable explanation of some results, for example, the WVC decrease in the period number 3. Some of the results have already been published, however. I'd like to draw your attention to an international study of the impacts of the first CRTR in 11 countries. We applied the same approach as presented here. While no significant change was recorded in Sweden, the highest WVC reduction was indicated in Estonia. High WVC reductions were also determined in other countries, but only in the first weeks of CRTR. Altogether, more than 4,000 of large mammals didn't die on roads of these 11 countries. The real numbers, including other smaller species, were necessarily by several orders higher. This 2020's large-scale traffic flow drop brought us a unique opportunity to study its impacts to the number of WVC. The results presented here and in the previous study represent scientific evidence for traffic calming. This implies that traffic calming should have positive effect and can save the life of animals, particularly during the critical periods of their migrations. Some questions remain, however. It is not clear if animals behaved in the same manner during CRTR as before. Also, our results are only valid for large mammals and for ungulates in particular. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Michael. I think you are here. So we have time for 1 or 2 questions to Michael. He can answer directly because he's live with us. Any questions, please? Yeah?
Thank you very much, Michael. On one of your conclusions, you said calming down the traffic has positive effects. So I was wondering, did you already apply this measurement in real practice?
No. This was just a study on unique data at a unique opportunity. So we only published this analysis. There is still no practical application of these results. But I think it's evident that it should have such an impact, like WVC decrease. Yeah.
In addition, do you have some ideas about where to apply this measurement?
There are some reports and some publications from some parts of the road that such measures are already being applied, but usually it is on secondary roads and during some critical parts of years when animals migrate. Yeah.
Okay, we have time for one more question. I have one, Michael. If I understood well, there were 2 droppings in the wildlife vehicle collisions, one in spring and one in the autumn, but the traffic in autumn is higher than in spring, if I understood well. What explains this higher dropping during autumn comparing with spring? It's life cycle of animals? Do you have an idea?
I'm not sure at the moment. Maybe there was not so high drop of the traffic, but it seems to us that the autumn's peak, autumn's drop was a lot larger, longer. It was maybe more weeks. So the overall decrease of traffic maybe was larger, but what we don't know was the number, was the behavior of animals. This is what we haven't studied.
this is it was completely unknown how animals behaved during this traffic reduction. And of course, this was a second lockdown, a second traffic reaction. Maybe there was some change.
Okay.